Alright, let's fully unlock the power of breeding in Pokemon Scarlet and Violet. So because we have a map that shows where all the Terra Pokemon are, and we know egg groups, and we know the list of Terra Pokemon, there's a way we can get easy, quote-unquote, easy 6IV Pokemon in Pokemon Scarlet and Violet. So let's start to build that together. First off, we're going to go for Breloom, because this Pokemon occupies 2 egg groups that aren't attached to field, so I want to go about this a different way than we have in the past with Brilliant Diamond, Shining Pearl. But I still want to shout out Nerth, who is cooking up some crazy breeding chains for Pokemon Scarlet and Violet. You can find his channel in description, pinned comment. Just get there, sub, and check out his video when he makes it, because he's going to be going for like a field egg group optimization. I want to try out some other ideas because, yo, you just run out into the wild and then you get Terra Pokemon. Also, Terra Pokemon are really easy to respawn, and then we get 3 IVs each. So, fly to a location nearby, that's going to respawn and reload the area. Once that happens, you can then time skip, and then you can run back to the area and catch that Pokemon again. And then we can see the glow of a Terra Pokemon off in the distance, so we catch it again, and then we can check the IVs, and the goal is to eventually get a 6 IV Pokemon out of this. Now, the reason why you want to do this is because if you do not catch a 6 IV Ditto yourself, it is 100% hacked, and using it counts as cheating. People really don't like it when I state that fact. The Pokemon Company has confirmed that if you breed with a hacked Ditto, all of the offspring are considered cheated. So you want to avoid that. And if you are upset at that fact, then why are you even watching a breeding guide? Why are you doing anything legitimately? If you're using a 6 IV Ditto to breed, it's no different than hacking. You're just a scumbag cheater at that point. Oh, you're upset at being called a scumbag? Well, if you weren't doing the scumbag action of cheating in a children's game because cheating is wrong, you would have nothing to get offended over. And the fact you're getting offended means I struck a nerve because you know I'm right. Now, you can get your own Dittos from raids, and if you are really, really lucky, you can get a 6-star Ditto raid, and that Ditto will have 5 IVs. And if you get really, 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 really lucky, then you can get a 6 IV Ditto through this method. That's also why if you don't get it yourself, it's hacked, because it's so incredibly rare, no one is just going to give you one for free. And if someone's like, oh, give me your shiny Pokemon for that, they just got a hacked one and now they stole a shiny Pokemon from you. You can also find Dittos in 5-star raids, but I've been doing raids for dozens of hours and I have not seen a 5-star Ditto, so once again, it's an incredibly rare Pokemon that's going to have 4 IVs, and that's better than nothing. That's definitely going to help with breeding, and that's why you want to get a 6 IV breeding setup like the one we're going to explain in this video. So, we just got Grass and Fairy egg group accessibility, and we also got a female, which helps a lot. So the male of the egg group is what you want to put the IVs on, because that's what's going to breed with the females of all the other egg groups, and by using the judge feature, you have to beat the game, talk to Nurse Joy, you can compare and see the IVs. So what you want to do is you want to reset and then breed these Pokemon until you can get a 6 IV. Now, this is where I'm realizing that Nerth's method is probably going to be superior on, like, the field group chaining, because it means if you get one 6 IV field group Pokemon, it's going to be easier to kind of split around with the other Pokemon in the egg groups. But you are not restricted to only using Terra Pokemon with high IVs, because if you do a lot of Terra raids, you are going to end up with a lot of Pokemon that have crazy IV splits. And if you do 5 and 6-star Terra raids, you're going to be pretty set up. Here's a 5 IV Pelipper I got from a random 6-star raid. It was rock, so my Koraidon destroyed it. Now, unfortunately, it's not a 6 IV, but if you do enough 6-star raids, you'll eventually end up with a 6 IV Pokemon, and then that's just going to immediately seed whatever egg groups you're looking for. So it just kind of shows that you don't have to 100% into breeding or 100% into any part of this game. The gameplay loop is engage with everything. Do an occasional 6-star raid if you can. Pay attention to the Pokemon that you have. Pelipper is Water 1 Flying, so we can look up an egg group list on Bulbapedia, and we can see that Weasel is in that egg group, also shares into Field, which means we can find the Terra Weasel out here, and we are just starting off with crazy IVs, especially if this is a female that has the IVs that we're looking for. And I still want to catch the males because Field is a powerful egg group, Water also has like other synergies and stuff, and just really about the Pokemon you're trying to bring together. Wow. Okay, if this is a female that also has special defense, the game is kind of loving me right now. Moment of truth? Hype. So I mean, look at this. Also, this one only has 2 IVs. So I guess some of them don't have 3. Every other one I've found has 3 IVs, but that's going to be good enough for me. You can also just naturally roll for other IVs, so you get a little bit of bonus luck in there, and that's going to speed things up. But this means we can get a male offspring Buizel that has crazy IVs. Time to get a Destiny Knot. Now, I saw some comments of people saying Medali is cracked because you have a nice area to hatch eggs in, and also you could just buy egg power food right here. So, yeah, that's pretty nice. And then you just run right over there, and that's going to be a good place to get your breeding done. Alright, first batch was a great success. I just did 3 eggs because I'm trying to finish up this video, and then we ended up with a 5 IV female Buizel that perfectly complements the 5 IV male Pelipper, which means we go at it. It's going to take some RNG to get that 6 IV, but then we have a crazy egg group unlocked. Frick. Nerth is just one step ahead, and he hasn't even made the video yet. However, there's still a lot of work to do after that because you need to get the RNG of breeding a 6 IV Pokemon, so that's going to take some time right there. And it really makes me wonder, like, if it's worth going out and Ditto hunting for even a 4 IV Ditto, if you get, like, super lucky on the 5 IV Ditto to help kind of speed things up into other egg groups. And it makes me think about the open world of Pokemon Scarlet and Violet. Also, the really good IV acquisition. Just do, like, random 6-star raids for the 5 IV, or maybe you get a 6 IV that unlocks into multiple egg groups, and that's going to save a ridiculous amount of time. Question is it faster? Because that's still, like, 1 in 40 raids to get a 6 IV, and the 6-star raids are pretty tough. So, is it faster to do that than to just actually, like, breed it through the other mechanics we have? That's what I don't know. But I think it shows that the reason why the egg group chaining existed in Brilliant Diamond and Shining Pearl was out of necessity. Because you aren't just going to get a 5 or a 6 IV Ditto in that game, so you actually have to have a 6 IV for every egg group representation, or else breeding for high IVs is going to be pretty much impossible, and getting competitive Pokemon in that game is going to be impossible. But the mechanics, kind of like what I said in the beginning of the video, of Pokemon Scarlet and Violet, make it to where you can actually just kind of patch things in. You do a 6-star raid, you find a compatible Terra Pokemon for that, you breed it all together, and then that's actually going to give you quicker access to 6 IV Pokemon, and potentially quicker access than getting a 5 IV Ditto, or even searching days for your own genuine 6 IV Ditto raid. Now, my thought is that maybe it'll take 30 hours, which, I mean, compared to some of the grinds we've seen in Pokemon Sword and Shield and stuff, and also other IV Dittos in the past, might be doable for some people and kind of offsets it, but who even knows at this point? It is pretty crazy. Now, personally for me, I'm taking a back seat when it comes to breeding, which is also why I'm saying, hey, check out Nerth's video. After his experience with Pokemon Brilliant Diamond Shine Pearl, he just knows more, and he made the chart, so he can probably explain it a lot better. But me personally, I'm not big on breeding for this generation. My goal is, how many raids can I do, and how much money can I make, and can money solve everything? Unfortunately, it doesn't really seem like money solves the EV problem, but if money solves the bottle cap problem, which it does since bottle caps are pretty cheap, then yeah, just get money. Use bottle caps on every Pokemon. You're going to have a million bajillion candies. If you go out catch a raid Pokemon, it's level 45 from a 4-star raid, so practically hyper trainable, and anything over that is hyper trainable. So I don't see, personally for me, with how I'm going to take on the game, to find breeding to be that much of a need, except when it maybe comes to hidden abilities, so that could get a little sketchy. But then you just breed for the hidden ability off of a wild Pokemon or off of a raid Pokemon, and then you just don't worry about the IVs, because bottle caps exist. Or maybe if you just optimize this with a really good method, saving millions of Pokédollars in time is going to be the better play. I just like what happened with the gameplay loop in Pokemon Sword and Shield, where it's like, yo, money solves everything, and I like the gameplay loop of Pokemon Scarlet and Violet enough to where, yeah, I think money solves everything. So there we go, that's how you get 6 IV Pokemon in Pokemon Scarlet and Violet. Hope you guys enjoyed the video, hope you all have a nice day, thank you very much for watching. Yo, I have a 5.5 IV Staraptor. Nice.